Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a 2021 rod and reel arsenal. As we're getting ready to roll into March, the walleye run here in Northern Ohio gets ready to kick off, and there's specific kind of lure rods that everyone likes to use. Light to medium rods. I've never really seen anyone use heavy. I have seen people use medium heavy rods, but basically we're just going to go over the arsenal today. And I'm just going to show you what I use, and because I'm a budget fisherman, I don't go for the $150 combos. I usually keep my combos under $100, and so let's get to it. So the first combo I have is one of the poles I've had the longest, and it's actually my favorite combo to have. This is actually the Shakespeare GX2 Ugly Stick. I use this combo for everything. Like I said, it's an ugly stick. It's very, very sensitive on the end. It's got a fiberglass tip end. Right now it's actually rigged up for catfish. That was the last time I used this pole. Like I said, it's used for catfish. I've used it for bass, with like spinner baits and chatter baits, and we've also used it perch fishing. So I believe this one is a 6.6. Yeah, it's a 6.6 medium. Yeah, 6.6 medium, and that's what this is. That's my all-around go-to pole. Like I said, we've caught channel cats on this up to 20 pounds, and we've caught 7-inch perch on this very pole. So this is one of my favorite rods to use. I take this everywhere I go, and it's a 2-piece, which is a plus. So if I have to, I can break it down and put it into a book bag or something to carry it. But everywhere I go, I always have this rod with me. And this one is also, you can see the hook is actually out. This one's also set up for catfish too, and this is just this Zepco. Yep, Zepco Slingshot. This pole is actually like a $12 combo at Walmart, and right now, like I said, I have it set up for catfish. Weightless, so we're using this to drift in the current. So just using the bobber. It is a spin cast rod, so it's easy for the boys to use, and an extra pole for like Bethany to use if she wants to. She really doesn't like to use bait casters, but this pole too. We use this for bluegill, crappie. We have used it out when the boys have came out with us on the big lake. We have used it for perch too, and it's pretty good for small catfish. It puts up a good fight. So this is one of the ones that the boys always use. It's the Zepco Slingshot. Like I said, it's like $12 combo. It's one of the best ones that the money can buy for a younger person. And to go off that, we have these two. See, that's a Zepco Slingshot reel, and then this is just a Shakespeare Reverb. Those two will also be used for throwing on a light or ultralight rod that we can use, for panfish. This is my first bait caster I ever had. This is the Garcia Blackmax. I got it at Walmart for like $49. This one is a 6.6 medium as well. Right now I have a Ned rig tied on. I've used this for catfishing before, but it's not one of the ones that I like to use for catfishing. I usually mainly use this one for bass, largemouth and smallmouth bass, up in the reservoirs that we have here, and then Lake Erie if we get a chance to get out there. So yeah, that's the bait caster reel. It's a good first combo for me for my first bait caster, and I haven't had any issues with it. So this was a good product, and once again, it's a Walmart product. The H2O Express, and I got 2 of these. I actually bought 1 and they sent me 2, which I'm not complaining. I got back with them, and then they just told me to keep it. This is a 7-foot heavy fast, so I have a tube tied onto this. But the other one I use these for tubes, for crankbaits, for topwater frogs. Like I said, it's heavy, so it's very stiff on the end. So when you're reeling in that crankbait, you're not feeling every little twitch of that crankbait coming through the water. And then obviously when you're doing frogs, you're gonna want to pull through some thick stuff, you know, around like your tree branches, your thick moss, your lily pads. So this was actually a good pull to get. I got this one for $55 from Academy, and you know, like I said, it's got good backbone to it. So if I throw it in there and it's gonna get snagged, I'm probably gonna break the pole, break my line, or snap the pole in half from a lot of torque on it. But it's gonna take a lot. I've never had any issues with this pole, and it's just been a great pole for me as well. Same pole, same concept. Still got the other one on. This has a small spinner bait on it. This looks like the boys were using this over at the front neighborhood pond. So, like I said, H2O Express, it's been great. I just kept the default line on it. Like I said, I've had this for 2 years now. I've had zero issues with it. Shakespeare Navigator. This is a Walmart pole, and then this reel is actually a Booyah reel from a Booyah pole that I bought at a Walmart in Eastern Ohio. But I broke that rod when I got it stuck underneath my cleat on my boat. So I took the reel off and I put it on this Navigator, and it's only a 6 foot, but it's a light rod. As you can see, I got a chatterbait on the front. I believe it's 6 foot. Yep, 6 foot medium. Sorry, but yeah, it's light too. You can see just like the smallest little bit of action. It's got super light line on it. I think it's 4 or 6 pound test. So this is a good one for chatterbaits. I like it to be a little bit longer when I go bass fishing, but this is another great pole for, you know, when you're sitting on the edge of a boat in Lake Erie and you're just letting it hang and you're waiting for that perch to, you know, give a little tug on your setup. So like I said, this is a good one, and I believe this pole you can get it at Walmart like I don't know, like $14 for the rod, and then this with the combo was like $15. So once again, it's a pretty cheap combo. But I've never had any issues. Never had any issues with most of my stuff. He was using that Zepco Slingshot, but he wanted a better pole, and I wanted to get him a little bit better pole that he could use for everything, since he's fishing a lot more with me now. And this one is actually used for catfish, and we actually have it rigged up with a good Carolina rig. So we all know the Zepco, you know, Zepco 303s, Zepco 33s. They're very, very well built, and they last for a long time. That's what this Zepco Roam is. It's basically an updated version of the Zepco 33, and it's on I don't see it anywhere on this rod. But I got this at Field and Stream down in Dayton, near Dayton, and it's a light rod, as you can see. It's got a lot of bounce to it with like little to no play. So this is a good one for him. He caught a I'm gonna say, I think it was a 12-pound catfish on this reel last year, and he caught actually a 2.5-pound bass with this very pole down in our local reservoir. So he likes it. He's really not into, he's very good at bait casting as well, so sometimes he will use my bait casters, but this is his favorite pole for right now, and I have not yet got him into, you know, the open face spinning reels, because I just think that's going to be a little more learning curve for him, since he's learned the spin cast and the bait cast so well. So yeah, Zepco Roam, like I said, this is Caleb's. This is his all-around fishing pole. He uses it for everything, and yeah, that's the Zepco Roam. It was like $39 at Field and Stream. We usually use the spin cast one. This is the spin cast one, sorry. The spinning one, but I don't have one. The thing about the Dock Demon is, you know, it bends almost all the way without breaking. That's the big thing. So that's a good one for, you know, he's 4. So using this kind of reel is easy for him. It's a small little pole that he can play with. I believe it's like 26 inches, but once again, it bends all the way down. So you're not gonna toss in a giant catfish with this, but this is good for like pan fishing and bluegills up in the front pond. And this is Liam's, yep, Field and Stream Tango. So you can see it's the Field and Stream Tango. I just threw a cast. That was just the rod. The reel, I got the Kastking Speed Demon. It's one of the fastest reels for retrieve. It's like, I don't know what the Revos is, but it's a pretty quick. So you can see I have a swim bait on here, tied onto a shaky. It's a shaky head. Excuse me. So yeah, basically this is a heavy rod too, to go along with those other ones. So this is my swim bait rod. I really don't use this one for anything else. I like the thick, sturdy rods for everything. So yeah, this is 7.3 heavy fast. So just like those ones were 7. This is 7.3, and once again, I could use this for frogs if I wanted to, and for crankbaits. But I like this is my swim bait rod because of the reel setup. The Loose Smash. I've been wanting to get one of these. I finally saw one on sale at a Bass Pro over in Illinois, so I went ahead and picked one up. This is what I'm going to use for the walleye run this year, as I'm going to try. I believe this is medium. Yep, medium fast, and it's a 6.6 pole. So if you guys don't know, for the walleye run, one of the best ways to fish is a Carolina rig. So on the end here, you're gonna throw on like you can set up your Carolina rig the way you want it. Some people use sliders. I've seen people use like the catfish rigs. I like to use the Lindy rigs with mine because it lessens up the snag. But down at the river, you get a lot of, it's a lot of broken up shale rock, so it's a lot of boulders in the water, and you're gonna lose a lot of tackle with your jig heads and your rigs that you're pulling through the water. So you're gonna lose a lot of tackle, and that's the reason I like the Lindy rig, is because I don't have to worry about snags as much because it just bounces off the rocks pretty well. But a lot of guys, to offset that, they'll use like floating jig heads with trailers to keep it up off the bottom a little bit more. But once again, when you're throwing that Carolina rig, your weight is still going to drag close to or near the bottom or on the bottom. So one of the things I like to do is I like to run the Lindy rig. It's a little bit bigger. It's not as sleek as most people would like, because it basically looks like you have a banana hanging off your line. I don't know if I have one set up on any of my poles. I don't. But what it does is it basically just bounces off, and I use that a lot for catfishing too. So if you ever go catfishing with me, or you're on the river with me, you'll see that I use the Lindy rig a lot in the river because I don't like to lose a lot of tackle, because tackle is expensive. So yeah, this is the Smash, and I'm going to use this as one of my all-around poles this year, just like I'm going to use my GX2 as one of my all-around poles. So color scheme is nice. It's nice. So I actually have a little mess up right here, so fix that real quick. So yeah, that's one I plan on using a lot this year. So when I actually go down to the walleye run, I will take the Smash and I will take the GX2. Those are my two favorites. The almighty Catfish Hog Seeker. I've had this pole since 2015, the spring of 2015, and I've caught the majority of my catfish on this pole. It originally it still actually works. The beeper on it, I don't ever use the beeper. I have turned it on at night, but it doesn't really work. I don't know how to do the bite alert thing, so I don't even mess with it. I got this at Meijer for $45, I think, and it is a Zepco pole, Zepco Hog Seeker, and this bad boy, I'm just telling you, this bad boy hauls in some fish. Like when you hook into, like a 20-pound channel or like a, you know, a 20-25 pound flathead, this thing has no problem reeling in. It's just boom, 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 boom. It's got a lot of backbone. It's super heavy. The line that comes stock with it, which is still the same line, I believe that's 20 pound. It's not the catfish one. It's just one from Meyer, but it's 20 pound test. And then I haven't done it on this one because I just cut them off and added to it. But a lot of times I'll use the big game line, you know, the big green big game line, but it's very fluorescent, and I'll use it on these poles. This one was, as you can see, the way it's set up, I had that circle hook on there with a slip sinker, so that means I was probably drift fishing, probably underneath the bridge or you know, in the deeper section of the river with how long this leader is for me. So that was that. The Zepco Hog Seeker. This is my favorite pole. If you guys have any questions about anything that I said today, if you want to go fishing with me, feel free to do that too. You can use any of the stuff that I have. All I ask is that you have a fishing license, or if we go on the boat, you just bring some snacks. But other than that, that's the combos I'm going to be using this year. I may do like a bait arsenal thing coming up pretty soon, but especially for the walleye run, I like to talk about what I do for the walleye run, and I'm not going to do that in this video. So, like I said, if you guys ever going to go fishing with me, just hit me up. You can use any of my stuff, especially if you're new to the fishing game. If you want to, you know, hit different spots in the river that I'm pretty familiar with, I can take you. We can go try to catch some fish, put some fish in the freezer for you, especially with like the uncertainty of what goes on today with like the meat industry, and you know, what you may or may not go into your food. But so if you're catching it straight from the river, you know that you caught it and you're gonna cook it out. So once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one.